The Super Nintendo. Some call this great gaming console the best, and some just really like the thing. So today, I thought I'd take a stroll down memory lane and make a top 10 Super NES games ever created. So without delay, let's begin. Number 10. Released in 1990, F-Zero was a massive step up for the Super Nintendo with incredible gameplay and backed up by outstanding controls. Much like the three Donkey Kong games released for the SNES, F-Zero also uses a graphical technique where sprites are rendered to make everything look and appear 3D. So overall, F-Zero was a very good game and definitely worthy to be on this list at number 10. Number 9. Being a sequel to Super Mario World, you know it's gonna be good. Yoshi's Island's events occurred before Super Mario World, as Mario is now a baby, but the game follows a somewhat similar formula to its predecessor. You play as Yoshi, and you have to get baby Mario to the final castle and defeat Bowser, who is also a toddler. So anyway, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, is an excellent platformer and easily worthy to be on the list. Number 8. Released 4 years after the amazing F-Zero, Donkey Kong Country was easily the best out of the three Donkey Kong Country titles released for the Super Nintendo. Like F-Zero, Donkey Kong Country also uses the same graphical technique. This game also introduces Diddy Kong, which is fully playable. So overall, Donkey Kong Country is in my opinion the best Donkey Kong game for the Super Nintendo and is easily one of the best games for the system. Number 7. Easily the best shooting game for the system, Star Fox or Star Wing was the start to one of Nintendo's most beloved and most forgotten franchises, Star Fox. The game was the first game to use the Super FX chip, which makes Super Nintendo games look almost like Nintendo 64 games. Overall, Star Fox was and still is a blast to play and makes it worthy to sit proudly at number 7. Number 6. The only fighting game and port game, Killer Instinct followed the footsteps of Mortal Kombat, but in its own way. The series is not as fun as Mortal Kombat, but still, it's a great game which should be loved by all. If you want a good roster of characters, look no further than Killer Instinct. There are many creative characters like a skeleton warrior and a robot. All of this and more makes Killer Instinct a great arcade port. Now, if only Rare could make Killer Instinct free. Number 5. Without a doubt, the most successful Mario spin-off would have to be Mario Kart, and the series jump-started right on the Super NES. The game let you choose from 8 races in the Mario universe, and boy this game was a blast. I still strongly believe that this game is the third best Mario Kart ever made, right behind Mario Kart 64. Super Mario Kart does actually live up to its name. It's super. Number 4. The only RPG on the list, Super Mario RPG, was the Plumber's first RPG and the last Mario game for the Super Nintendo. The game will let you play as 5 characters, all with unique and funny moves. Speaking of funny, the game is hilarious, and there are a lot of funny moments in the game. Overall, Super Mario RPG is the second best Mario game on the SNES, and if you want a challenge, go pick it up. That's if you can find it. Number 3. One of the best Zelda games ever, A Link to the Past was the only Zelda game for the Super Nintendo. It introduced many things into my favourite video game franchise, like a main Zelda storyline and one of the best items in Zelda history, the Hookshot. So overall, A Link to the Past is amazing and is easily one of the best Zelda and Super Nintendo games of all time. Number 2. The best Mario game for the SNES, Super Mario World, was a gem of a platformer with many elements that made it stand out in the series. For one, it introduced us to Yoshi, Mario's companion who lets Mario ride on his back. In my opinion, it has the most secrets in a Mario game to date. There are tons of secrets in the game, like secret stages and warp zones. Overall, Super Mario World is the best Mario game on the Super NES and is totally worth to be at number 2. Before we get to number 1, let's look at some honorable mentions that did not make the list. Chrono Trigger, Super Mario All-Stars, Final Fantasy III, Mega Man X, Super Castlevania. Number 1! The best Super Nintendo game ever would easily have to be Super Metroid. I think the game is very challenging, especially if you have never played a Metroid game before. The game is, well, not your basic platformer. I like to think of it as a puzzle platformer, as there are a lot of puzzles in the game. So overall, Super Metroid is the best Super Nintendo Entertainment System game ever made, and is one of the best games of all time. Well, there you go, guys. There is my opinions on the best SNES games ever. Did your favourites make the list? Please, tell me your thoughts on your favourite Super Nintendo games. Post a comment or video response. And don't forget to subscribe. Well, see you guys next time on the 79JK Smith Show.